Hey there, and welcome to the next section of the meditation and implicit senses training here in Living Resilience. Hope you've been enjoying your practice with the simple stillness, the first segment of the MIST training. Don't know how your pacing is with this material. Ideally, you're doing the stillness meditation at least once a day. And ideally, you've been doing it for at least a week or two before you're going into this coherence section. And hopefully, you're also journaling, taking strong notice of before, during, and after each of your stillness meditations, to be able to start to articulate some of that neighborhood, some of that territory of what it is to be taking on a meditation or a contemplative practice, particularly the rather simpler end of the practices that for some of the lineages that have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years, Buddhist meditation comes to mind. There are a number of different tracks in the Buddhist methodologies. And hopefully you've been, even if you have a long-standing meditation practice, you've been taking it newly and taking a few notes and journaling those notes over time. Now, if you're somewhere along that progression, a week or two of the simple stillness and the journaling, that you're now stepping into coherence. And coherence is, it's a very, very common term in so many different personal growth and personal mental and physical wellness tracks. Coherence is basically a sense of resonance or a sense of well-being between two or more systems within our body or within a relationship or within an organization. You get the idea. And I particularly want to mention a tremendous amount of work done on exactly this track in using contemplative meditations and studying their effects on our well-being, on our bodies. And that's done by an organization that calls itself Heart Math. So you might want to look that up if you're curious about this, if it starts to be something that you'd like to know more about. They're a good place to start. They've done plenty of work and articulation in this zone. Hopefully what you're noticing in the stillness meditation is a couple of different aspects of what we're conscious of as we pay attention to our body in a new way. We've got an interesting habit here. We call these different aspects different bodies within our body. And so that'll, I think, make more sense as time goes on, as you move through these progressive layers of the MIST training. Particularly with the stillness meditation, that is just silence. And so the two bodies, if you will, that we can easily pay attention to in the stillness meditation are our mental body, watching our thoughts, noticing our relationship with our thinking, noticing how that has quite an effect on our ability to pay attention in stillness. Similarly, we have, of course, our first body, our physical body. So that might be a good way to start talking about it as you take your notes in your journaling or in any conversations that you have with fellow travelers on the path here. You can start to talk about the dynamics of or the interrelatedness between the mental body and the physical body. As we are now shifting to the coherence meditation, we can continue, we will always be continuing to include the physical and the mental body. And this time around with coherence, it starts to expand out to other aspects of what we can be aware of when we're paying attention to our body in this kind of way. So in the coherence meditation, as I've learned it from the folks over at Heart Math that I mentioned, they often talk about the dynamics and the coherence between head and heart. So obviously, head would be our mental body, and heart, we start to integrate not only the sensations of the physical body, but we can also start to integrate what could be called our third body in this series of bodies we'll be talking about, and that's the feeling or emotional body. So, what are the feelings? What are the emotions that we can be feeling at any given time? And that you'll notice that we've chosen a particular piece of music for this coherence meditation. It is, if it turns out to be something that's annoying to you, you just don't get it, it's not your cup of tea, you're welcome to find, we would recommend music with no words to it, to just be able to keep the self-rating the self-regulating quality of the music limited to the music and your body's reaction to the music. In any case, let's just assume that the music works for you and you've downloaded uh, the long version and the short version to your device, and you're moving along. And perhaps you're doing the stillness meditation, continuing to do that, I'm guessing, in the morning. And then you might choose to do the coherence meditation at a different time in the day. The times of day will be different for you, and we are, that's up to you how you regulate your practice. We do recommend that you make these daily practices, and ideally, if you can continue with the stillness meditation at one point in the day and the coherence meditation at a different point in the day, and do your journaling briefly after each meditation, that would be ideal. And just what's most important is do what you can and do it as regularly as possible. So again, to get back to the bodies that we're going to be paying attention to at this level, um, this is another meditation that is extremely simple. It's meant to be that. It's meant to be almost a passive experience. This one, even more so than the stillness, simple stillness, in that if you are inclined to lay down in this meditation, you are certainly welcome to. Like the many do in the stillness meditation, you can sit for the shorter or the longer version of the coherence meditation. Sit comfortably, ideally in a place where you will not be disturbing to other people in your quiet listening, hopefully with headphones to this music. And most importantly is that you will not be disturbed during the amount of time that you've chosen for this coherence meditation. If you choose to lay down, we recommend that you pay attention to your body temperature. Truth be told, it's just as important when we're sitting, but we're often less aware of it than when we are laying down. You will find this to be even more important in further later steps in this MIST training. But for now, assuming that you're choosing to lay down for the 15-minute or the 30-minute version of the coherence meditation, we recommend again that you set yourself up with a quiet place where you'll not be disturbed for the amount of time that you'll be involved with that meditation. Ideally, you'll have a blanket that you can use to just set it up so that you're just the right temperature. You'll know what that is. Take care of yourself. We also recommend that you do this with your eyes closed. So that's as simple as it is. That's all the instructions that there are. And the only prompt that I'm going to be giving you here that there will be other prompts available to you in the written instructions that you'll be able to find in the meditation and implicit senses training menu that you clicked to get here. Right now, the only prompt that we would suggest for you is to notice as clearly and distinctly as you can before, during, and after this coherence meditation. What is the state of being that you can notice about the different bodies that we've just been talking about? When you're going, but just before you begin your meditation, make note of what is the activity going on in your mental body. Do you have a lot of what is sometimes called monkey mind, a lot of chatter in your mind, a lot of thinking that seems to be repetitive, and so on? Just notice what's going on in your mental body. Notice what's going on in your physical body. Are you able to quickly relax, and do you feel any latent tension in your body, any anxiety? How's your breathing? Is your breathing able to be deep and relaxed? Just noticing before, during, and after your physical body. And of course, then there's the feeling body, which we're now newly introducing. We'd ask that you notice in your feeling body before, during, and after the coherence meditation, what are the feelings you're aware of? And particularly when you combine that or notice the intersection of how your physical body feels and how your feeling body feels. Are you aware of any particular strong emotion? Are you aware of any, again, as I mentioned, anxiety or any sort of lingering emotional flavor, if you will, in your system? Most importantly, with coherence, as you're laying there and just noticing and breathing, allowing whatever is occurring to occur, and just noticing and breathing. When you get to the end of the coherence meditation, take special notice of the totality of your system. What this whole coherence meditation is about is, if you've given yourself 15 minutes or a half an hour of this experience, this noticing of the breathing and the noticing before and after of three different bodies, is there a different sense, a different felt sense in your body of the dynamics or the relatedness between these three bodies at the end of the coherence meditation? For many people, there is. Certainly for me, there has been a tremendous difference, and I use this meditation often. And as you'll see, there's a way to do this without having to take 15 minutes or a half an hour. In fact, without having to take much time at all, less than a minute. You can come to a coherence, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So that's somewhere down the line in this meditation and implicit senses training. For now, after this 15 minutes or 30 minutes each day that you're practicing, do you notice a difference of the dynamic and relatedness between these three aspects of what you can notice in your own body? We hope you find this useful and look forward to hearing about your progress. Thanks.